Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Victoria, how are you?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here for yet another episode of Civic Chat.
Yes, I'm excited for this one. I feel like it's been a while since our first Census live. I think it was back in the first week of May.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So we definitely need to update because there has been a lot going on regarding the census. So I'm excited for this episode.
I am super excited, especially with all the updates. I know that a lot of people who are watching, you probably have a lot of questions. Remember, don't be shy. Ask the questions in the chat box. We'd love to answer all of your questions and all your doubts because there is just so much going on.
Yes. So do we want to start with, I guess, just reminding people what is the census? I know we've been doing a lot of census work. So you guys should have an idea by now, but if you don't, Michelle will remind you what the census is.
For sure. So basically, the census is done every 10 years in the United States. Now, the census is actually done worldwide. Did you know that, Victoria? It's actually done everywhere. Every country has their own way of doing it, their own time of doing it. So, but here in the United States, we do it every 10 years. And it is just a way so that the federal government will know how to allocate resources. So it's super important for everybody to answer the 2020 census so that your community will have resources.
Yes, and so you actually get the funds allocated for things like schools, fire departments, public transportation, roads, and like parks. And it helps determine, which is really the important one, it helps determine accurate representation for the state, which is based on the population. So if you want accurate representation, you really do have to follow the census. I think that's one point that we always forget to miss. So it's really important for people to fill out the census in order to get accurate representation for the state.
Exactly. So, for people who know how are seats in Congress divided? How is that even determined? How do we decide, how districts are drawn and how things are done? All that is decided by you answering the 2020 census. So, that's super important for all of y'all to know. And I wanted to ask you, Victoria, when is the last day for people to actually answer the census?
So, the last day before was actually October 31st. Now they changed it. We have 1 month left to fill that out. So the new due date is September 30th, which really is, it's crunch time to get everyone counted, especially for orgs like me and Michelle. We have been working out in the field to help you guys fill out your census, do census outreach, and it's frustrating, but we got this regardless.
Exactly. You know what? People are going to do what they're going to do. The fact is, our community is going to stay strong. We're going to get counted, and we're going to be present no matter what. So everybody, make sure to answer the census. Don't leave it for September 30th. No, answer it right now. Answer it right now. And don't worry about the deadlines. It doesn't matter if it's September 30th or if the day of tomorrow it will change again. Oh my gosh, we hope not. Or actually, we do hope. Let's go back to October 31st. But but honestly, like that, the deadline, let's put that aside. It's time for all of y'all watching right now to go ahead and answer the 2020 census.
Yes, and it doesn't even take that long. It's honestly about 10 minutes. The famous little quote, 10 minutes, 10 questions. So, it honestly does not take that long. It asks simple questions like, where do you live, your address, phone number, who lives with you, birthday, race, age, sex. That's basically it. Does not ask anything about your immigration status. So, that's probably the number one thing when I'm out in the field. People are scared to answer because they're like, well, I'm not a citizen. Well, honey, that does not matter. Fill out the census. It does not ask any questions. People are surprised even when they answer the census. They're like, wow, it didn't even ask me if I was a citizen or for my social. I'm like, no. Nope. Like, that does not matter. You guys have to get counted regardless. So, you know, it's really no excuse. Everyone has to fill it out. Everyone should fill it out. And also, just a reminder, when you fill it out, you're basically filling it out like with your information from April 1st. Mm-hmm. So I know, like, I don't know if you noticed this, Michelle, but I have some people fill it out and they put their birthday, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, that's not the right age, even though that's the right birthday. But it's like the census is taking the information as if it was April 1st.
Interesting.
So so it may be, you might, like, your birthday was like June. So now you're like 23, but it still shows 22 because that's the information from April 1st. So if you're living somewhere else now, answer how you were, where you were living on April 1st.
Well, you know, and we do want to encourage everybody, you know, just answer the 2020 census. If you have moved, answer it. If you know, are at your household, go ahead and answer it. The fact is, you need to be counted no matter where you're living, no matter where you are, no matter what date it is. Just go ahead, go online, get counted where you're at, and just do it, okay?
Yes.
For sure.
Right now, here in the comments on Instagram, Geeky Nikki is saying, I have a paranoid friend who thinks the government is gonna stop her, so she doesn't want to fill it out.
Oh no. Well, friend, first of all, I love that handle. Geeky Nikki. I love that handle. But let me tell you something. First of all, there is nothing in regards to citizenship status in the 2020 census. So let's start with that first thing. Second, what they ask you is your name, your birth date, your race and ethnicity. They do ask your address, and that's pretty much it. Basically, what's on your ID, that's what they're asking you in the 2020 census. The information that you are giving in the 2020 census, first of all, it is under the power of the census office. So other branch of government do not have access to this information. It is under the protection of the Census Bureau. So that is also very important. And then, you know, they're not asking information that is not already on your ID or hasn't been asked in, you know, your ID. So that's like super important. We hope that your friend will come around and answer the census, because honestly, it is so important for everybody to answer the census. And Victoria, I'm just going to go ahead and say that our friends from Facebook are actually saying, hello, Victoria. We have Lorena and we have Christina that have been saying, hey, Victoria.
Hey, Victoria. Yes, they're amazing. They're always helping me talk about the census to our community. They help me chase some people so they can fill out the census. They're amazing.
Well, shout out to Lorena and Christina, and thank you so much for your work and doing like spreading the word when it comes to the 2020 census. Super important for everybody to answer, to make sure that we have our resources and the resources for our communities for the next 10 years. Most important, for sure. So I wanted to know, Victoria, is the census only available in English?
No, it's actually available in 12 other languages. That includes Arabic, Chinese, French, Haitian Creole, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Vietnamese, and Tagalog.
Okay, inclusion, yes. Love it. Yes, exactly. Love it. That the 2020 census is accessible in all languages. And all the languages that Victoria just talked to us about. And most importantly, for y'all to know, once you're on the 2020 census page, all you have to do is go to my2020census.gov. And on the right top corner, you're going to see a little button and it's going to say English. If you press on that, all your options are going to come up for the language that you may need.
Yes. And it's gonna ask you for a code. But if you don't have it, right under it, let me see if I can pull it up to show you guys. But right under it, it says you don't have a code, and then the link for the survey, it just takes you to the link, and it just asks you for your address instead of like the 12-digit code that you usually get in the mail if you just happen to throw that away.
Exactly. It is like super, it's actually under, it's a link that's right under where they're asking you for the census code. All you have to do is press, click here if you do not have your census ID. Oh, Victoria's
like, I don't know if it focuses. Okay. So right here, when you put a start questionnaire, so you see all the languages down here. And then you just press, I do not have the census ID 2020. So you just click there to start. I don't know. Let me focus for Facebook.
Yeah, the eye is really, if you maybe pull it a little bit from the back, like a little bit for our friends on Facebook, it's just right there under the code. The reflection is too much. Maybe if you dim the light a little bit. But for our friends on Facebook, it is super important. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I tried.
You did try, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure our friends on Facebook appreciate that as well. But it's really, and you could see it. I did see a little bit under the code. You can see it right there. It just says, click here if you do not have the address. You confirm that you live in the United States, and then you put your address, and then you continue on answering the census just like nothing happened. Like you didn't even lose the code in the first place.
Yes, and it's fine if you threw it away. But absolutely. I'm judging you. I'm kidding.
Exactly. It happens to the best of us. For sure. I agree.
But just a reminder as well, I've had some people ask me, like, I'm pregnant. She goes, I don't include my baby. Yes, you include your baby. He is 0 years old, or she is 0 years old. Like, everyone counts because your baby is going to be 10 in the next 10 years. So
Exactly. Your
so
baby,
everyone counts.
That's actually a great point, Victoria. Thank you so much for bringing that up because honestly, like, your kid is going to be going to school. Your kid is going to be using the resources that we need funds for the next 10 years. So yes, please answer your child the census for your kid if they are born and you're answering the census during that time. So definitely do that. I'm very excited for everybody to count the census, especially our immigrant community, our Latino community, every community out there. We want you to answer the census.
Yes. Michelle, do you want to talk about a little bit of answering the race questions? I always get comments on this every time I'm helping someone fill out their census. I know you guys just made a video, so I think it would be good if you just go in depth.
Well, thank you for the shout out on our video. The 2020 census, okay, something to make very clear here is that the Census Bureau actually follows a race and ethnicity guideline that was set back in 1998. This was a very long time ago. People think, or used to think, hopefully, in different ways at the time. And people are confused as like, why don't they count Latinos as a race? And the fact is we're just old. We're just using very old guidelines. We want that to change. I hope that one day that does change. But for now, Latino is considered as an ethnicity. In the ethnicity question, you can answer more than one. So if you are, if you are from Colombia, but also from Mexico, you can press both. If if you want to go ahead on the bottom, it just asks you, from a different country, and you can press that and put, Bolivia, whatever it may be that adapts to your identity and where you are from. Secondly, for the race, you, again, answer to the best of your ability and what best fits your identity. So if you are from African descent, you can put Black, but if you are also happen to be Native, you can press that one as well. You can also put of other race, which is how I decided to answer my 2020 census. I put ethnicity, Colombian, and then in race, I put of other race. And then you put the description of where you can come from. So I put of other race, and then I also just put like Spain because that is our history. So super important for everybody to know, you do not have to just pick one. You can pick several answers. And also, I know that it's very complex and very confusing for our community, but just answer to the best of your ability, you know?
Yes. I think that's a great point, because a lot of people, that is a very confusing question. Even when I started like doing my own research on it, I was just like, well, what am I? You know, it's like, my mom's just like, oh, we're Mexican, we're Hispanic.
Exactly. And you know, even when I go like to get my driver's license, for example, there is a race and there is an option for Hispanic, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, so it's very different. It's a different dynamic. And for our Latino community that is out there, you know, yes, it's a bit different from what we're used to, but, you know, it's not impossible to answer. You know, we are considered an ethnicity under the census due to very outdated guidelines. So, you know, the best that we can do as a community is still be present, still be there, and still get counted. For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
And let's see.
So, Victoria, I wanted to ask you too, how can I make sure my community gets counted, especially for the people who are watching? I'm sure they want to know, how can they get involved? How can they make sure that their community is counted?
Okay, so if you have already filled out your census, you want to encourage everyone else to fill out their census. You know, I tell my neighbors all the time about it. Honestly, if you follow us on social media, we have a lot of nonprofit orgs that also talk about this. They give updates. So if you want to stay updated with changes like the deadline, you know, maybe you guys if this is the first time you're hearing about it. So you can follow LCF on Instagram, follow them, like them on Facebook, do the same for Vecinos, Los Vecinos de Buford Highway. And, you know, other orgs like Galeo, so I think ATL Counts also always updates about the census. Another way you can also make sure your community gets counted is just like encouraging, like kind of spread the word about what it is. You know, you can always just tell people to do something, but they're going to be like, okay, why am I filling it out?
For
you know,
sure,
like, what is this going to do?
Exactly, and direct them, give them information. I think that a good way to get people involved also, in my experience as a community organizer, is make things accessible and make things maybe easier for them to do. So, you know, give them the website. Let them know it's my2020census.gov. Answer the questionnaire, and it's super easy. It only takes a couple, like 10 minutes. Now, are you going to get fined? No, you're not going to get fined for not answering the 2020 census. But what is the actual fine? That your community will not have enough resources for the next 10 years. And that is the biggest fine of all. The biggest, you know, some people were asking me, like, why don't we get fined if we do not answer the census? And the biggest reason why is for the protection of your information, which goes back to one of the biggest concerns of what people have about answering the 2020 census. So you do not get fined because in order for you to get fined, your information would have to be given to authorities. And that goes against them protecting your information. So your information is actually protected by the Census Bureau, that they're not even going to fine you. But what is the actual fine? The fact that your community will not have resources or enough resources for the next 10 years. And, you know, if you ask me, that's way worse than any, you know, fine or a ticket.
Yes. So actually, a fun fact for every person that does not fill out the census, if I don't fill it out for my household, it's 4 of us. So that's $2,000 more. I think it's $2,300 we lose every year for the next 10 years per person.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money for your community.
Exactly. For schools, for everything. That is a lot of money. So, you know, if anybody has any questions in the chat box, please let us know. Are there any other questions you had for me, Victoria?
What are some other ways to fill out the census? I know we talked about the website, showing you guys the website, and there's 2 more.
Yeah, so you can answer it by phone. So if someone watching this, or maybe some of y'all know people who are in rural areas that have very bad internet signal, you can answer it by phone. You can answer it in English by calling the number 844-330-2020, or for mi gente who need to, answer it in Espanol, please call 844-468-2020, and you can answer it by phone in Spanish. And if there's any other language that y'all may need, all you can do is just look up Answer the Census by phone, and there are a lot of languages and a lot of phone numbers that would be way too much to even say on this broadcast, but still, all this is available to everyone. So again, that's in English, it's 844-330-2020, and in Spanish, it's 844-468-2020. So you can answer it by phone. You can answer it online, like we were mentioning, on the my2020census.gov. Or the third option is you can answer it in person. And how does this actually work? So starting August 11th, so a little over a week ago, census enumerators started knocking on people's doors. And so what should people expect? What should our community expect during this process? So census enumerators work from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. They will have a census ID on them that you can request if you feel uncomfortable. If you can say, hey, I need to see your ID, I need to see your Census Bureau ID, it's going to say their name and expiration date and a photo of their face. They will have everything of the logo of the 2020 census. Of course, they will be wearing a mask, keeping social distance, and they will also be in a car that says official business. So in case a census person comes and knocks on your door, first of all, be nice. They're very nice people. They're super, super nice. They're just doing their job. But you can avoid this encounter by just going online or on the phone and answering the 2020 census.
Yes. Someone in the comments, Sulemo, said, when is the deadline? So once again, the deadline is September 30th. So you have about a month, 5 days, right?
Exactly. Yeah, 37 days. So we only have 37 days left. And y'all, I'm going to say this once and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter when the deadline is. Answer right now.
Once we go off live, you better answer it.
You know how I'm interpreting that, Victoria? How much longer do I have to procrastinate on this? Because that's what I'm hearing. And no. Answer it right now. Yes, you have until September 30th, but don't worry about that. Answer it right now, okay? The date has changed recently. That date can change again, and we don't want that to happen, and we don't want you to even have to worry about that, because you can just go online and answer it right now, or go on the phone and answer it right now. So we want to encourage everybody to answer the 2020 census. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's Civics Chat. And if you guys want to hear about any particular topics, for us to talk about any particular topics, please just comment down below. Let us know what you want to hear, and we will love to have a civics chat and answer all your questions.
Yes, and just in case you guys have already filled out the census, you already told all your friends to fill out the census, I want you to encourage them to register to vote.
Yes.
Because that is also fast approaching. That is October 5th.
October 5th, yes.
Last day to register to vote. So you can register to vote by going to bit.ly/vecinosvote. That is bit.ly/vecinosvote. They're all lowercase because it is case sensitive. But you have until October 5th to register to vote, and it's really important. Just like the census, we need to participate.
Exactly. Super important. Make sure to go to bit.ly/vecinosvote. Register to vote. Remember, you do need to re-register if you have changed your name, if you have moved. And then also, why am I blanking out? If you have changed your name, if you have moved, and then if you have... Get back to me on that last one. Sorry about that. For sure. But also, make sure your voter registration is definitely updated, has all your updated information, because that is super important. Nothing worse than standing in line and then being turned away because your voter registration was not updated.
Yes, I completely agree. So just get out the way now. And also, if you already did register to vote, I think the absentee ballot application has already came in the mail, and I already got mine. So just make sure to do that with time, because it's going to take a while if you're waiting to get your absentee ballot. Just a little reminder.
Exactly. Go ahead and get that absentee ballot, answer the census. You know, so many people always reach out and be like, how can I get involved? How can I go do, you know, things for my community? Your first step is this. Your first step is answering the 2020 census. Your second step is registering to vote with the Vecinos link, bit.ly/Vecinos vote. And make sure you are updated on all the information. And also, you can visit our website with latinosfordemocracy.net if you need any other information in regards to the upcoming elections.
And with that link, you can also get your absentee ballot, right? Because Fabi Valleros, she needs to get her absentee ballot. First, you need to get your absentee ballot application. So in order to get your absentee ballot.
In the state of Georgia, you do have to send your absentee ballot application. That is super important. You can send it. Well, you know what? That's for a whole nother episode. Or you can go on I was about to go in, girl. I was about to start talking.
We're so passionate about civic engagement, girl.
Exactly. And that's what we love. And we hope that everybody watching loves it too. But remember, register to vote, bit.ly/Vecinos vote. You know, go to the my2020census.gov so that you can answer your 2020 census now. And go ahead and get it over with. Don't worry about deadlines. Get it done today, right now. After we finish this live, I want to hear everybody.
Yes, I'm gonna put all the links. Because this will go on our IGTV, so I'll put all the links there so you guys can reference back to it if you need them. Absolutely. And one last thing, Vecinos is doing a creative census contest. The deadline to apply, to enter is September 6th. At 5 p.m. And this is just a contest. It's supposed to be like fun, get your creative side out in order to encourage other people to vote. There will be 3 winners, and the way to enter is #Creative Census 2020. That's how I'll see your entries for the contest. So yeah, I encourage everyone to enter. You'll win like some census swag, you know. So
hey.
And the $30 gift card. So.
Oh, $30. Hey, you know, that's like gas money. I love that. For sure. Well, thank you so much to everybody for tuning in and watching us for yet another Civics Chat. We do go live every other week on Tuesdays. Now, actually, we have a new day for Civics Chat. It's going to be every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So make sure to join us, especially if, you know, you want to have a casual conversation. I know with civics, a lot of people think it's all about suits and ties and just like all these like fancy stuff, when really it's just, you know, 2 chicks just talking about civic engagement and having a good time. So obviously have that conversation. Let's talk about it. You know, if you have any questions regarding Civics Chat or anything civics, let us know and we would love to have you.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye, Michelle.